My pigeon Remy has been obsessed with me. She's confused. She thinks that I'm her mate, and that happens if you hand feed a bird when it's real young. It confuses them, and it's hard to get them to breed. This is very true of many different species of birds. You all these ravens and crows you get them at about 3 weeks. You hand feed them. You could have a male and a female. They're not going to breed. It's not going to be a breeding pair. So this is very common. But I got Remy a male pigeon years ago, Casper, with the thought that maybe she would have some interest in him and they would hook up. And Casper is an awesome bird. He is. He's fucking great. I like him. He's very polite. He is, unlike Hemiwinkle, who is a brute. Hemiwinkle I found underneath the bridge when he was about 3 weeks old. He was baking in the hot sun. You know, he wasn't old enough to fly or anything like that. So Hemiwinkle lives with us, and you know, he's a pain in the ass. All the boys sort of wanted Remy, of course. She's a smoking hot pigeon, and you know, if any of them, you know, Hemiwinkle or Casper, I always wanted Casper to hook up with Remy, but it just didn't happen. So when Camo was here, it's a little dog Camo I trained. He's an awesome little dog. I hope I see him again. I got a bird to train him with, and I picked out the smallest bird thinking, well, since it's a small bird, it might be a female, and I was right. And that's Chip. Now, Chip is very young, and Chip really doesn't have, you know, she's pretty young. It'd be the equivalent of like a 13-year-old human female. Could have a baby, but would she make a good mother? No. So she had laid an egg. I knew that her and Casper did it. I could tell. You know, they are like locking beaks and like sort of like feeding each other and shit. You know, sitting next to each other, eye to eye. You know, cooing and stuff. They're in love. So she laid an egg upstate, and we just left it because I'm like, Casper was doing most of the work, blah, blah, blah. So we came back down here, and Chip flew down and laid an egg right in front of me. It was weird. She was like, laid it right in front of me, and I was like, well, shit. You know, I've been thinking, like, if I could get a fertilized egg, I'll let Remy sit on it. So that's what is going on. Remy's sitting on a fertilized egg, but she can't do all the work. So I'm filling in, and I'm holding the egg in my hand when Remy is taking her break. Male and female pigeons, they help each other. It's like a marriage. It is. It's like a marriage. And they both sit on the egg, and they both feed the young bird. So I'm filling in. And I have it down, you know, I can hold the egg in my hand and get 3 or 4 hours sleep, you know, and Remy can eat and get out of the nest area for a while. So it is working, but I have a lot of anxiety about when the baby's born. I am, and the reason why is that I've fed baby birds. I have fed very young birds from about a week and a half on, you know. I've dealt with very young birds, and I can make them live, but I've never dealt with a bird from day one. So I have a lot of anxiety. I've been watching stuff on YouTube, you know, watching people feed newborns. It's anxiety. I know. I'm stressed out because I don't want to fuck anything up, and she can't do it all. She can't, you know. There has to be somebody helping. There has to be a male pigeon, and she doesn't. It's me. I'm the male pigeon. So I'm all stressed out, and I wouldn't be stressed out if it wasn't working, but I took the egg the other day, and I had like this one of those headlamps that's real bright, and I took the egg, and I turned the headlamp on, and I put the egg over it, and the fucking embryo is like fucking floating and moving around. It's fucking alive. When I have the egg in my hand, I can kind of feel it moving. I shit you not, man. It's the craziest thing. I thought that before I even looked at it underneath the light. But it was like shifting like this, and then, you know, I could see like there were like 2 eyes, like there's like eyes in there. You know, it's starting to form. I'm totally freaked out even when I'm like going and getting the egg. Like Remy's leaving the nest, I'm like, okay, it's my turn to hold it. I'm like, you know, I'm trying to do stuff and I'm holding the egg, and it's like so much stress because I'm like, I'm worried that, you know, I don't know, you know, something's going to happen and I break it or something, you know. All these thoughts are going through my head, sort of like if I was a parent. Seriously, like, if I would be a horrible parent to a human child, this is true. I'm being honest with you. I don't think that I would be good, because I would be like, I'd be so freaked out when the kid was leaving the house. You know, I wouldn't have the ability to just kind of relax. I'd want to put them in like hockey equipment. You know, I want them to wear a helmet and shit. I'd be afraid something was going to happen. And that's sort of how I am, you know. I'm worried. That's one of the reasons why I do what I do. I'm good at worrying about other people's pets, because I worry about my own. I've always known this, that I'm like, you know, I'm like sort of paranoid about something bad happening. So I'm always thinking, you know, 3 steps ahead so that things don't happen. I'm the guy that goes out in the backyard with the dogs and stays out there with them until everybody's done, and then we go back in. I never leave them unattended. You know, that's just how I am. You couldn't do that to a human child. You see what I'm saying? Like, you'd be a freak. Like, Dad, get out of here, we're playing. You know? But as a pet owner, that's what I am. I say a lot of stuff in videos like, you know, Joopy's mom, or, you know, stuff like that. But the bottom line is, I know that Joopy's mom is an owner. You know, I know that Mila and Micah's mom isn't a mommy, she's an owner. And I sort of say that tongue-in-cheek, but make no mistake, the animals that I live with, they're in my family. These are family members. Sam the Raven, yeah, he's an idiot, but he's my fucking idiot. I hate hearing fur baby. This is the truth. I hate hearing fur baby. I hate that bark box mentality. I do. I understand that animals aren't the same as children. You know, I get it. I get it. They're, you know, they didn't come from me. You know, in many cases I went and bought them. You know. I'm just flipped out. I'm flipped out. That's why I'm talking. I'm trying to like get this, that I'm going to be okay with this. I've fed baby birds before. I've fed, you know, injured squirrels. I've dealt with, you know, so many young animals. I know it's going to be okay, but I'm still like, I got so much anxiety about this. I'm an expectant father. I'm holding the fucking egg, you know? I'm holding the egg. This thing is alive, you know. There's no consciousness or anything like that, you know. But it's fucking alive in my hand. It's fucking crazy. I'm worried. I know it's gonna be all right. I gotta get some neonate or some. I think I'll use KT Exact to feed the bird. She's gonna be using. They have like pigeon milk, you know, for like the first week or something, which it's something that they produce. It's some kind of cheesy like substance, which I'm sure has all kinds of good stuff in it that the baby bird needs. And when I'm feeding it, I'm going to try, my plan is to try and see if she can feed it enough for like the first 15 hours or something. She's already pulling most of the weight. She's sitting on the egg, but that's my plan, is to see if she can feed it more than me, but I'm going to be ready to go. I'm going to be monitoring the situation, making sure that the baby's getting fed. The one thing that I think that is on me and Remy's side is the Chip, the pigeon that laid the egg, is the tiniest pigeon I've ever seen. She's about the size of a Barbary dove. That's how small she is. She's a great looking bird. She's a great looking bird. But like Remy's small, but Chip is even smaller. So what I'm thinking is Remy's sitting on a smaller egg. It'll be a smaller bird. Remy will produce more pigeon milk. That's what they call it, pigeon milk. And You understand what I'm saying? So she'll be feeding a smaller bird. She'll have more, and we might not need, to have a male pigeon giving pigeon milk. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be so flipped out when it hatches. I'm already saying I'm going to let her deal with it. I'm not going to try and take any of the egg away or anything. I'm going to let her deal with it. See, it's tough. It's tough. I'm already like fucked up in the head. Like, what if I got to step in and help? She's a pigeon. She should know what to do, right? But I'm not a pigeon, so it's a real problem. I'm worried. I'm worried about my future pigeon's son or daughter. It's going to be a great looking bird. I'll tell you why. Is because Casper and Chip are awesome looking. They're both whitish kind of pigeons. That Chip, man, she is a hot looking little bird. She's got long legs and like this little tiny black nose, like a button pigeon almost. I think she's a tumbler though. I think that's what she is. So I don't know. Keep everybody updated. It'll be all right, right? It will. It'll be all right.